Day two of the annual league meeting is underway, and Minnesota Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell is here. And Kevin, right behind us, you see these white chairs.
Yeah.
And these white chairs were the place where the head coach and general manager pictures took place that will probably be online by the time we finish this recording. For you, what was the game plan for, I guess, getting your elbows in front, making sure you had your presence firm, and I guess getting in front of Salah?
Well, my whole life, I shouldn't say my whole life, but for every team photo, coach's photo, anything I could ever remember, tall guys get sent to the back. So it's very easy to kind of blend in the background. But I found myself in between two rocked-up guys there, Dan Campbell on my right, Robert Saleh on my left. So strategic move at the last moment to step just slightly in front of those guys.
Okay.
Kind of my first time power moving here at the owners' league meetings, and I think it went well, but I'll let I know that picture will be critiqued, and we'll see. I decided to go with, I left a lot of my high fashion in the closet this morning. Just wanted the photo to be about me and who I am as a coach. So.
Well, maybe that's why they put you in the back. It's not about the fashion.
I saw some shorts in the front row.
Me too.
There's always some critical. I've kind of learned who are the fashion critics amongst the group.
Yeah.
So I try to get their approval before we get the photo taken. So.
Well, that's a win. And another win happened this past week with your San Diego State Aztecs.
That's right.
First time in school history, Final Four appearance, and now you move to being here in Arizona. You got to put your coaching hat on. How do you define success just for this Minnesota Vikings team over the next couple of days?
I think the big thing is we're talking about a lot of rules. We're talking about different things that may or may not be implemented, and just where we're at from an understanding of where our game's going. I think we've done some great things from a player health and safety standpoint. We're always talking about mental health and awareness of how we can continue to best serve our players and put them in great situations in our buildings. I'm really proud of what we were able to do in year one in Minnesota, and I hope that we continue to kind of be the standard of kind of the player experience in our league, and that NFLPA survey has been talked about here as far as where we finish, straight A's across the board. We've got so many great people, as you know, Gabe, back in our building that deserve all the credit for that. And I think it led to our culture being where we wanted in year one. Now the hard part is, can we consistently reimagine that and recreate that every single year? So that's one thing. And then there's a lot of conversations that go on. Many a trade or many a transaction have kind of took place at this meeting and over the years, and this year will probably be no exception.
I'm just looking forward to hearing what the next steps are for this Minnesota Vikings team, and I know you're just a guy that likes to stay ahead of the curve when it comes to play calling offense. I'm sure you've been in the room drawing up some plays outside of meetings, but at the same time, how do you balance that creativity, right, for play calling with simplicity?
I think first and foremost, it always goes back to your personnel.
Okay.
I definitely want to continue to enhance what we did in year one with the evolution of what the 2022 Minnesota Vikings offense was. A lot of people come from different backgrounds. I've been able to coach with some unbelievable coaches that I've learned a ton from. We've got some great coaches in Minnesota, so we've been really think tanking a lot of ways that we want to activate some of our different personnel, how we can apply pressure to defenses by doing that, and then ultimately how does it all work together to be, like you said, you want it to be learnable, likable for the players. You want those guys feeling like every single snap when that ball hits Kirk's hands, that we're in attack mode regardless of whether you're running it, throwing it, third down, red zone, taking a shot, whatever it is. We want to kind of come full circle and continue to grow and evolve, offensively to stay kind of in that top 10 in the league. Because I think with the players that we have, skill players, our guys up front, what we do offensively, there's no reason in the world why we shouldn't consistently be one of the better offenses in our league.
Staying on the offensive side of the ball, 5 of the 9 guys that re-signed from last year's 13-win team were on the offensive side of the ball. What was the thought process in bringing back the Garrett Bradburys, Madisons, all those offensive guys of the world for this Minnesota Vikings team?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was you can't keep everybody, and you'd love to. You'd love to be able to continue to add and have your team grow from previous versions, but just the way the rules are set up and the way, rightly so, the players can take advantage of when they either do hit free agency or they are quality veteran players and can find markets around the league. You want to provide that opportunity for your guys. But in the end, the guys that we brought back, the starting point was they wanted to continue to be Minnesota Vikings. And that was huge for me after being here for a year, developing relationships with some of those guys. On the offensive side, we were able to kind of bring back the guys you said, add a couple pieces here and there to kind of help evolve what we want to do. But consistently, it's always going to be about our players and our building. Really fired up to have those guys back and looking forward to them taking the next steps in their roles.
I love it. Yesterday, I talked to Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah, and he made a statement that I was like, I got to ask Kevin this.
Yeah.
He said, Josh Oliver, tight end, will make Justin Jefferson's game better this year.
Yeah.
For a guy that was Offensive Player of the Year last year, just a generational – I mean, I have so many adjectives. We have so many adjectives to describe JJ. As a coach, what are the next steps that he can make a leap in?
Well, I think what he meant by that is Josh Oliver – Vikings fans might have sat there and said, hey, we traded for T.J. Hawkinson. What are we doing signing another tight end? But there are no rules to say that you can only have one tight end on the field at the same time. In fact, we feel like one of the ways we can help J.J. Is by using our two tight end package, by using C.J. Ham and Josh or T.J. to apply pressure to the defense, because they've got to defend all the different variations of formations and ways you could take advantage with some of those bigger groupings on the field on those early downs. Listen, third down, red zone, those plays are always going to come down to more than likely 11 personnel on the field with those three wide receivers and TJ or Josh. But really those early downs where we can get JJ a lot of touches just by running the football better, more efficiently, marrying the run and the pass with keepers and play pass and screens, which will only make him not have to be all world every single snap. We're just asking if JJ does his job at that world-class level, with Kirk throwing him the ball, with our offensive line providing that protection, can we use that tight end position like we're planning on doing to really apply pressure? And that's what it all comes down to, Gabe. What are we doing, holding that pen last in a lot of conversations in our game plans to apply pressure and become really hard to defend. That's what we want to be.
That's the ultimate goal. And the ultimate goal over the next month is to continue to build towards, I guess, winning and achieving that championship standard. So for you, what are you most excited about over this next month leading into the draft?
Yeah, I think we've just been, the evaluation process. We're in year 2 now with Kwesi and his staff. And it was remarkable to me a year ago just how, even though we got a late start, post Super Bowl, how we were able to really implement systems in place and collaborate in a way that allowed the draft and free agency to be, a positive that led to a 13-win team in year 1. Now what we want to do is continue to build on that, continue to, with Kwesi and I working hand in hand and really imploring our staffs on both the football side and the scouting side to work side by side to add the best possible players. Leave no doubt that the players we're bringing into our building, they love football. They love the idea of becoming a Minnesota Viking and how they can help us improve from year 1 to year 2.
Kevin, appreciate your time today. Enjoy this sun. We don't get much of it in Minnesota.
Yeah, man, it's good to see you out here in Arizona.
Likewise.
This sun, we'll try to see if we can sneak some in our carry-on going back and bring it back to the Twin Cities.